So let's start by keeping a short moment of silence, bringing our minds to the here and now, relaxing, enjoying to be together beyond space and time. Centering ourselves in the middle of the chest, a little to the right, that place that we point to when we say I. We open our hearts to be inspired, to understand more, so that we can apply this understanding to our meditation. And now we just open our eyes and we will start today by continuing um, this kind of exploring the basis of meditation through the eyes of Patanjali and Yoga Sutras and the teachings that he offers us to understand and to practice this deepening of meditation. So we spoke last time about yamas, the things that you should not do, but we spoke about them from the point of view of the things that you should do so that you can avoid what you should not do. So it's important to make these things like some kind of practice, everyday practice, so that our minds are more prepared for meditation. Because, of course, if our mind is full of peace and love and understanding, it's more easy to go to meditation. If our minds is without desires, it's more easily, and so on and so forth. I think you understood how. But what I want to emphasize more is this aspect that you have to try to practice them in your everyday life. And Patanjali proposed that Pratipaksha Bhavana, doing the opposite. If you feel that you get angry, try to be peaceful. Try to remind yourself that you can, if you want, be more understanding and peaceful, and so on and so forth. And now, today, we will speak about niyamas. Niyamas meaning the things that you should do. And in this case, we do not practice the Pratipaksha Bhavana, the opposite. We just practice them as they are. And you will see that also these niyamas can be practiced outside of formal meditation, but also they are important to practice during the formal meditation. And I know that you know what these niyamas are, but I will still remind you each of them and see how they influence our meditation and how they can inspire us to meditate more profound. And you see that almost every time is not the lack of knowing that we miss, but is the lack of practice of what we know that we miss. Understand this? So we know a lot of things, but when uh, is the time to practice them, we just forget about them and do not do them. So the reason for this kind of lessons is to inspire us to remember this kind of practices. So in not particular order, we will start with saucha. Saucha meaning purity. And for sure, maybe in those ancient times, purity started with the physical body purity. So wash your hands, wash your ears, wash your eyes, wash your nose, wash your mouth. Usually in the Hatha Yoga books of those times, they start the purification by actually washing the senses, the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and all the skin, of course, because the touch is all our bodies. So they start by this purifying the body. But of course, for the meditation, this outside purification is not doing much. Of course, if we are not clean, maybe our skin is itching and we have to scratch and then we cannot meditate. But we are modern people and we shower each day or wash ourselves each day. So this is no longer a problem. We have water every time we want to. On those times in India, water was not so easily. If you don't live on the bank of a river, then you have to wait for the rain. But of course, the purity, the saucha, was not referring just to the outside body. And this ritual purification by water of the senses was meant to actually create a sense of purity in our vision, in our perception of the world. And for sure, what is more important from the point of view of meditation is this inner purity. And this inner purity manifests in the way we think and in the way we speak. So you see, words are very powerful. We don't think about it, but words are very powerful because every time we hear a word, inside our mind, that reality is created. So if I say apple, you will have in your mind an apple, even if you don't want to. The simple thing that you hear about an apple will bring an apple to your mind, and not just an image of an apple. It will be the times where you eat an apple and you enjoy it, the times where the apple was not so good and you didn't enjoy it, the times where you eat an apple with some friends and such a good time was there. A lot of things are bring forth by this simple word, way we feel, way we think. So for sure our inner reality is changing with everything that we hear and experience, because again, words create in our minds realities. And for this reason, we want to use beautiful words. Yes, because using beautiful words, our inner reality will be beautiful. And also, we want to offer the other persons this beautiful reality by saying beautiful words. And in this way, we create this kind of purity. And for sure, Patanjali speaks about this when he mentions that vrittis, the things that we have in our minds, are of two kinds. Klishta and Aklishta is the Sanskrit words. Klishta means that things in our minds that create suffering, and Aklishta means things in our minds that remove suffering. So the way we express in words and in concepts, in ideas, different things can create suffering or diminish or remove suffering. The same situation that we are telling about to some person, we can uh, tell it like a beautiful story or like a ugly story, like a like a thing that we learned from, or like a thing that is not good and is just not helpful. And you see, every time we represent an event to ourselves by telling the story, we have to be mindful of the way we tell that story. How can we tell the story so that we can grow from that? What this means? What have I learned from that situation? Let's give an example. I have a fight with someone. We argue about something and we have a fight. I can tell that story that I am very angry, that person upsets me and I don't want to see her ever, and expressing my anger, and for sure in my mind is that all that anger. Or I can think, from this situation I have something to learn, that maybe I have to be more sympathetic or more compassionate, or and in this way telling the story from the point of view of what I have to do to grow, I will focus my awareness and my mental power to positive things, to things that I can do to be better. Because just being resentful and angry will not make me better. Yeah, there are a lot of chances to make me worse, because I will think that my anger is justified and I have every right to be angry, and maybe react from that anger and do some harm to that person, and I will not grow. I just become more angry. Yeah. So for this reason, we have to be more aware, more mindful of how we tell our stories, not to other people, to ourselves, because that is in our minds. We have to become better storytellers. Yes, to tell beautiful stories. And in this way, our inner world becomes more beautiful, more peaceful, more calm. Because every time something happens, I tell a beautiful story about that thing. Again, some things are not beautiful. Someone made something bad to me. And that situation is not beautiful by itself. But again, I can create a story from which I learn something, and in my mind is peace. I, I don't have to bring that ugliness into my mind. And in this way, I create inner purity. Also, trying to use this kind of wonderful and beautiful words that makes me feel that beauty and that uh, wonderfulness. Yes. So if you don't know, learn beautiful words. Every language have different way to express the same thing. So you can express it in a inspiring way, in a beautiful way, or in a boring or even ugly way. Choose your words carefully. Choose your way carefully. For sure, meditation help us to find that inner beauty and to express it. But we have to persevere in finding this in our everyday life. Because if, I don't know, someone upsets us and we start to shout and be angry and use angry words, we don't bring beauty into the world. We bring ugliness. So this. Then another, so you understand. Saucha means that we have to think beautifully and keep that inner purity of uh, our minds and for sure our souls and our inner realm, our inner uh, domain. And the next one, it's tapas. And I think all of you are aware of what tapas means. Usually, for sure, the word means heat, means intensity. And when we speak about tapas, we think about an intense practice. And for sure, in this modern yoga, when we speak about tapas, means that for a week I will practice an hour of meditation, and this is my tapas. But actually, this is not tapas. Sorry to tell you, but this is not quite tapas. Because this is just an effort in which I exert my willpower to do something that I don't want to do. I don't really want to do an hour of meditation a day, but I took this tapas, I took this thing, and I will do it. But I really don't want to do it. So the tapas in the yoga world started to mean that do something that you don't really want to do it, but you uh, want to have this intense practice, and then you take like an oath or like assume this, and you will do it. You don't want it, but you do it. And sometimes it's like tapas. I I will not eat sugar for a month, and this is a tapas. It's not actually tapas. You don't eat sugar. It's not an intensity there. It's just that you are frustrated, but not something. What really means is to practice with fire, with intensity, with enthusiasm. So when you sit to meditate, you have to be full of joy and enthusiasm, and I just want to, I cannot wait to sit and meditate. So this intensity, this inner fire of practice is really tapas. For sure, and I don't want to say that that kind of tapas is not good, because if you force yourself to practice, maybe uh, towards the end of that assumed practice, you will find this inner fire, this inner intensity. You will find the joy of practice. But just from that moment on, you actually do tapas. Otherwise, it's just called sadhana. Sadhana means practice. So what you usually call tapas is just sadhana, is just practice. If you want to be tapas, you have to have that inner fire, that inner intensity, to do it with enthusiasm, with joy. And for sure, I think this is the most difficult part about meditation. Because, yeah, I think all of you, because you are here, like to meditate. I assume that, I think this. But not every time you have this inner fire, this inner intensity, this inner desire to meditate. Because if you have it, congratulations, you are a very good yogi. But most of the times you are, I know that is good, I will sit, but I'm not in the mood for meditation. So finding this inner fire, this inner joy and enthusiasm is an important thing to have in your spiritual life. And for sure, you will ask me, okay, how to find it? Where it is, this joy and enthusiasm? I think it just comes with practice. So we have to rely on sadhana, on that practice that we have to do, or we propose, we assume that we have to do every day. But we sit on meditation, on our posture, trying to be aware that being there with ourselves is a good moment. You see, we a lot of time we are not aware of our good moments. And if we look upon our lives, there are more good moments than bad moments. When you wake up in the morning and you are rested, it's a good moment. Just be aware that in that moment you are feeling very good. You are rested. We'll have a full day of wonderment and experiences. That then you drink your tea or your coffee. It's a good moment. Yes, you can enjoy just being there and savoring that hot drink, but you have to be there, because if you drinking your tea and thinking about, oh, I will have to go there now, I will have job, and you don't enjoy the moment. So be aware, you're drinking your tea, the tea is good, it's hot, it's sweet, it's a good moment. Being aware of all these good moments throughout the day will help you when you sit in your meditation to be aware that that moment it's a good moment, because you are with yourself. There are no worries, no problems in just that moment, more times than not. Sure, if you have some medical problem, maybe you are not feeling your best. But even that is not all that you are, you know. So the first part to find your joy, to find your intensity, is to become aware of these moments that you are feeling good. Not exceptional, not overjoyed, but you are feeling good enough. You are eating with some friends. It's a good moment. Just be aware of it, yes. You are walking the streets in Madeira, which is beautiful. Just be aware of it, yes. So you have a lot of things that you can enjoy in your life if you are just present for them and enjoy them. And if you start to observe more these moments, one thing is that you will become more joyful because you have a good life, good enough life. Yes, it's not like a soap opera or a telenovela, but it's a good life. And when you sit with yourself, you can be just with yourself. You don't have to think about anything else that just being there. And for the first few moments of your meditation, just enjoy to sit there. Like in Zen, they say, just sit and do nothing. Yeah. And just sitting and doing nothing can be such a powerful thing. To be aware in this moment, I just am. I don't have to do anything. I just enjoy being. And in this way, you will enjoy yourself better. And then keep the things that we speak about just before with Saucha. Tell a good story about what you do. Because if you try to meditate and your mind goes wandering and you start to become angry, oh, my mind is not focused. What am I doing? I'm not good at meditation. Maybe just watch television or something. You don't tell a good story. Yes. If you think, okay, I just educate my mind wanders, I bring it back. My mind wanders, I bring back. I exercise bringing back the mind. And then I start to be more aware when my mind, uh, when in my mind appears the desire to wander off. And maybe I will just, being aware of that desire, don't let it. Keep it in my heart. Keep it in that awareness of a good moment and such and such. So try to tell a good story about your meditation. Don't become frustrated. Oh, it's not a good meditation. The meditation yesterday was better. What am I doing and such? Because you don't help yourself. With this kind of thoughts, you create an ugly interior. Your mind is not beautiful anymore because you are frustrated, angry about yourself, about meditation, about all kinds of things. Just be patient and understand that meditation is a process and it can take some time. You have good days, bad days, but when you sit with yourself, just that fact that you sit with yourself, it's a good thing. You don't have to do anything more. Just being there is the best thing that you can do. And for sure, what helps more to have this intensity and enthusiasm is to have some good experiences. Because if you have good experiences, then you are more motivated to repeat them. And for this reason, helps to do a retreat or a period of intense practice where you are in a way forced to do it. if you go into the retreat and you pay for accommodation and food and such, you will have to stay to meditate. And staying to meditate, you will discover some intensity. And once you discover that intensity, you can bring it back with you in your everyday life. But you have to remember about it, because so many times I heard, yeah, in a retreat was so good, but now I have life, I have work, I have children, and when you sit, you sit. Children's can wait for a moment. Worries can wait for a moment. You don't have to bring them in your hour of meditation. Yes, just remember that intensity. Remember how good you felt when your meditation was good, because remembering helps you to create this intensity. And again, what helps is to, during the day, think about the moment when you will meditate. So you are at work and think, oh, I will go home and I will sit and meditate. So such a bliss. Can't wait to go home to meditate. And then, I don't know, you walk on the street and think, oh, I will have my hour of meditation. How beautiful it would be. So during the day, having this kind of thoughts will help you when you sit. All those things that you thought will be there, and you will have that, so good. Finally, I'm here. I'm in my space. I'm in my heart. I'm in meditation. Oh, and it's like you center your day around the idea of being with yourself and going deep into your heart. Don't think about it like a technique, like a method. Think about meditation like, I will be with myself. I will go deep in my heart. Don't think about, I will do the technique. I will sit. I will be aware of my breathing. Don't think about. It's just like, imagine that you have a lover, and during the day you just think about, oh, how good will be to embrace him, to kiss him, yeah. And when you actually are with him, is so much joy because of this thinking. Because if you think, oh, I will have to meet with my lover and we have to kiss, oh, and we have to embrace, there is no joy there. Yes. So think about meditation like you think about something good will have to happen, and then you will find this kind of intensity. The next one, and I think this one is one of the most important. Each one is important, but this one, I think it's important from the meditation point of view, is called samtosha. Samtosha means to, how do I say it in English? To be content, to be at peace with yourself. So maybe to understand it better, thinking about self-acceptance. You accept that you are what you are. This doesn't mean that you are surrendering and don't do nothing, but you accept that you are what you are in this moment. And also means that you you are content with the way you have what you have. So it's, in a way, it's like you think that I have all that I need. And in this moment, I am what I can be in this moment. Again, this doesn't mean that I cannot be more and I cannot do anything. So, because for some, when they hear about Santosha, they think, oh, it's like this is for the people that don't want to do anything because they think I I am what I am and I cannot change. Acceptance doesn't mean that I cannot change or I cannot be better, but I am not frustrated with what I am now. I am I I am at peace with myself. I do what I can do in the conditions in which I am, and I know that yes, maybe slow, I will transform. I will arrive at my destination. We cannot all be, I don't know, rabbits. Maybe we are just tortoise and we just go slow, but it's important to move in the right direction, because some people are very frustrated with the now. Oh, the now is not good. The future is better. And always the future is better. Or the past was better. Because you can see these two kind of thinking. Oh, the past was so good. In the old days, everything was perfect, and now everything is going down. And the good old days. Or the future. Oh, now it's bad, but maybe if that or that or that will be, everything will be perfect. And I will work and I will struggle and I will do anything. And in the future, someday, somewhere, everything will be better. This is uh, an agitation of the mind. This frustration with the present, this lack of acceptance, it's a struggle for the mind. I am not content with what is now, and I dream about past or future. And when you sit in meditation, this is very disruptive for meditation. When you are not content with yourself, when you are not at peace with yourself. I don't know if it's very clear, but for this reason, it's very important to be acceptant, to accept what it is, not with resignation or I cannot do anything, but this is here and now. For sure, I will transform, but this is here and now. And I am at peace with this. And it helps to understand that for sure, the here and now is created by the past. It's not that the past was perfect, because if the past was perfect, the present should be perfect. So what the people don't understand is that the present is created from the past. And for sure, the good action from the past created a better present, and the bad actions from the past created a bad present. And what we do now will create a better future or a bad future. Yes. So for this reason, it's important to focus on what we do now. But we have to start from this point of acceptance, this santosha, to be at peace with yourself. And I hope you understand that this being at peace with yourself is not a reason to be lazy or to not do anything. Yes, because for some people, and there are a lot of spiritual guides and masters and such, that they say you are everything, you don't have to do anything because you are perfect. You are sorry, but my existence proves that I am not perfect. And if I don't accept this, how can I transform myself? If I think that I am something that really I don't experience it in now, because for sure they are not telling a lie when they say you are perfect. For sure, your essence is perfect. Your inner heart, your profound existence is perfect. But what is outside your individual consciousness is not there yet. So you have to accept that you have to do something to get there, to be that. Or this is the acceptance, yes, to understand your situation and then do the things that are necessary to be better, to experience the world in a more beautiful and desirable way. And when you are at peace with yourself, for sure, meditation is more constructive, more uh, helps you grow faster because you start from a peaceful place. When you are not accepting what you are and you think that I should be better because I practice yoga for, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 years, and I should be a guru, I should be a master, I should be in samadhi all the time, and look, my mind is scattered. You are starting from an agitated point, thinking what you should be but you are not, what you could have been but you are not, and such doesn't help you. So learn to be more acceptant of yourself. For sure, helps you to be more acceptant of others, more tolerant, more compassionate, because for sure all the people are trying their best, but for sure they are not knowing what to do to be best, but they are trying. All the people want to be happy. They are not understanding what happiness means and uh, what is the way to happiness, but they are trying because they feel that uh, reaching that happiness means that they are whole again. They are again in that unity. But they think maybe if I have that thing or that thing, I will be in that unity. Still, the desire remains, the desire to be perfect, to be in that way. So, being more acceptant of the others and their struggles, even if they don't know how to do it, helps you to be more at peace with yourself. And the next one is called svadhyaya. Svadhyaya means, the actual word means to study yourself. To study yourself. Sva adhyaya. Adhyaya means to study. Sva means yourself. So this word at origin means to be more aware of yourself, what's happening with you, how are your samskaras or vasanas, your inner things, tendencies, and such. But then it started to be about studying in general, reading books. Now, in these modern times, meaning look on internet about things, seeing, I don't know, on YouTube some spiritual masters speaking about spirituality and such and such. But what is the important thing to understand is that studying means having your mind oriented towards knowing yourself, knowing the world, knowing all these kind of things. Having this inner desire to understand better yourself and the world. And this will be expressed by having, I don't know, discussion with your friends with deep meaning, not just, I don't know, the weather or how the last gossip about someone is, or in society, of course, if you speak with your neighbor, you will speak about weather or something, but with your friends, try to find some deeper subjects of discussion to understand better the practice, the meditation, the spirituality. In old times, the good old times, they have this kind of debate in which you have to express your ideas in front of other colleagues or students and have them challenged to see how good is your understanding. You see, because, and this is a problem in today's world, because we don't want to have arguments, and if someone challenges us, we just retreat. The debate is not about a fight between two people, but it's about finding a way to express your ideas more clearly, because trying to express your ideas more clearly will make them clearer for you. And for this reason, you see, in the end of the retreats, we have that sharing. The sharing is not about telling a story about your life or what you do, but it's about have some clarity about your experiences during that retreat and trying to put them into words, even if the words cannot contain the experience, and usually cannot contain the experience, but trying to express them will help you get more clarity. For this reason, helps a lot to have a journal, to write your experiences every day or at least once a week. Because in this way, you will be more aware of what is happening to you during the meditation, during your practice. And it's not about reading back, oh, look what experiences I had years ago or such. But it's about finding this clarity. Because then, when you sit in meditation, you will have this openness in your mind to be more aware of what is happening. Because okay, I will have to write in my journal, then I will have to pay more attention with what is happening to me in meditation. I cannot let my mind just dream away for an hour. I will have to be more aware, apply myself better in meditation. And this is self-study. This is studying yourself. So for this reason, I recommend you to have a journal. It's a very good tool. Or if you don't want to have a journal, then have a friend, have a spiritual friend to which you can tell your experiences, not just to brag about, oh, what the beautiful thing I have experienced, but to have this clarity, to have this better understanding of what is happening to you during meditation. And of course, uh, and I want to emphasize this, during meditation, things are happening outside of your mind, and you cannot express themselves with clarity. For this reason, we have Rumi or Abhinavagupta. They are poets. They are using metaphors because beyond the realm of the mind is this poetry to express what cannot be expressed. So don't be afraid to be poets, to write poetry in your journal, because the journal is for yourself. You will not publish it, so don't worry about it. uh, just get some clarity, express yourself to get this clarity. And for sure, then when you go to a sharing at the end of a retreat, you can express what you experienced and what was the struggle, what was the good things, and such and such. But I don't know. After this meeting, I think all the things will be just good because you are more aware of the good things. And the last one, and with this we will go to meditate. The last one is called Ishvara Pranidhana, which actually means to offer yourself to God. And usually this is what we do when we say we consecrate. Yes, the consecration is Ishvara Pranidhana, is this offering to God. In some translations, they say that this is having God the goal of your practice. So another way to look at it is, I want to discover that deep mystery of existence. If I don't know, I don't feel at home with the God and the church and such, then just discover the mystery of existence. For sure, the mystery of existence and God are not different, but again, is the way you tell the story for yourself to be more uh, at peace with what you search for. But it's good to have some higher thing to aspire to. Yes, to when you sit for meditation or when you do anything that you do it for something better than you, so for some higher than you. In this way, you let yourself space to grow up. Yes. Otherwise, it's just egoism, just selfishness. Yes. I just wanted to do it for myself, for my benefit, or for my family benefit. And I don't care about humanity or all the things, all the beings in universe or God. I'm just with myself. It's small. It's a small place to grow. Your ego, it's a small place to grow into. But the mystery of God or of existence, it's a infinite place. So you can expand yourself to infinity or beyond. So these are the niyamas, the things that you have to do. So cultivate purity of intentions, of thoughts, of words. Cultivate enthusiasm and this joy of uh, practicing or being with yourself. Cultivate santosha, being at peace with yourself and being content. Practice vadhyaya, self-study, keep a journal, try to express your experience to others, and have God as your goal. So, if you have some questions before we meditate,
I have a question that it has nothing to do with yamas and niyamas. It is with my meditation practice because it happens to me very often, and it happens to me when I was seeing your first class and doing the meditation. You tell us, this Sajananda tells, to focus on the spiritual art and repeating I am. Yes?
who am I?
No.
I am works just good enough. It's not a
Wait,
problem of what you say to yourself. It's about finding that inner reality.
yes. And
Okay.
what happens to me, and it happens to me very often, and not only with this kind of meditation, is that sometimes it comes to me my second mantra. And I would like to know if the mantra comes, if I should stay with the mantra or I give the mantra away and keep the attention on who am I.
You can do both. You don't have to get rid of each of them because the mantra is like a background for who am I. You see, mantras really are just offering us a gateway to go to their source. Their source is that nada, that sound of silence, which is originated from uh, Atman, from the self. So, keeping that background and asking ourselves, who am I, just help us to remain in the silence and go to the origin of that mantra sound. Sure, when you use a mantra to I don't know, awaken your in yourself energy of Mahavidya and such, there you can focus on that. But when you meditate with your deepest and most profound being, mantra is just helping you to go to the nada and from there to the source of that vibration of consciousness. So they are not exclusive. They are not excluding each other.
Okay, thank you.
Abhinavagupta has a poem, and maybe I will read it to you at some point, that is saying, "Don't get attached from something, but don't reject something." So this is the attitude. It's just there. Don't attach to itself that, but don't reject it. Let it be. Okay, let's meditate. Uh, I think because we just have half an hour now, we will skip the warming part. We will get to a warming part when we will focus more on meditation and such. Because if we just have half an hour, then the warming part helps. But now we are warmed by all these words and understandings. So we will sit with our back straight, finding a good position for meditation, that inner balance between the firmness of the pose and relaxation that will help us to stay still for a long period of time, transforming the stillness of the body into the stillness of the mind. Shoulders a little to the back, opening the chest in an open attitude. Like we embrace the world with love and compassion. We center ourselves in the middle of the chest, a little to the right, that place that we point to when we say I or I am. There is a gateway, a portal to the inner reality of the self, of our spiritual heart. We try to calm the mind, and for this we can use the breathing, the gentle rhythm of in and out of the air, the sensation of the air going through the nostrils, filling the chest, this awareness of the breathing help us to keep the mind in the here and now, so every time our mind wanders, we just bring it back to this awareness. We become aware of these moments in between breathings, this inner asana, these moments of stillness at the end of inhalation, just before exhalation starts. There in the middle of the chest, we inhale, pause, exhale, pause. These are short moments of stillness, of quietness, in which the mind rests in between breathings, in between thoughts, will help us to become more aware of that inner space of silence, that background of stillness on which thoughts, emotions, sensations appear, remain for a while, and then disappear, and we continue to exist. Inhale, stillness. Exhale, stillness. And now we are more aware of that inner space of quietness, of silence in the middle of the chest is called Hritakasha, the space of the heart. We start to ask ourselves the question, who am I? The question that points us to the direction of our I amness. So the mind cannot answer because the existence itself is the answer. So we ask the question, we are the answer. Who am I? We feel this I am, that answer to the question, and we can use everything that appears in our awareness to get back to this I am feeling. So when thoughts appear, we just ask ourselves, who is the one thinking? Me. Who am I? When emotions arise, positive or not so positive, who is the one experiencing these emotions? Me. Who am I? And when sensations in the body appear, pleasant or not so pleasant, who is the one feeling these sensations? Me. Who am I? Gradually, this I am feeling becomes a tremor of the heart, a vibrating light so intense that we can surrender just being without being someone or something, feeling that joy of existence, that pure awareness. Who am I? We dissolve all the identifications with the body, with the mind, with the senses, with our desires or fears, with our memories or personality. Who am I beyond all this? We ask the question. We are the answer. We are consciousness and bliss. We are infinite and eternal. We are. keeping the awareness of the spiritual heart, the inner peace, the joy of being and meditating. We become aware of the world around us and slowly open our eyes, ending our formal meditation now. Did you remember to be aware that this is a good moment to just meditate with your friends and be? If you didn't remember, try next time to remember. It's good to try to practice what we speak. So try to remember tomorrow morning when you drink your tea, this is a good moment. When you just woke up, this is a good moment. It's Sunday, so it has to be a good moment to wake up because you don't have to go to work. Just remember to be aware that the life is good, most of the parts. So have a good evening and see you next time.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.